I'm not worried. I want to turn it off.
Okay. If y'all are cool. All right.
This is y'all podcast.
Hey, I'm fucking this chicken. You just holding the wings.
I'm more of a feet guy. Starting off hot.
I didn't mean to say that. Can we edit that out?
Y'all never heard the expression, how we gonna fuck this pig?
How's it going? How's it going?
I don't think I've ever heard that one. No.
How we gonna fuck
Nope.
this pig?
I'd like to know how many times I get myself in a bind by saying things I'm trying to say, but I say it wrong. Like last night, we watching football. I said, I was trying to say this guy was juiced up, but I said he was juicy, and I was like, everybody like just looked at me. I was like, I have no way of getting out of this now. So like, we're just gonna ride with it. And then I showed somebody my wedding ring because we got him in, and they were like, "Oh, you rocked up." I'm like, "Yeah, you went. You're the guy now."
You took it there. I was having a good time. You just ruined it. All right, want to thank y'all for joining the yeah. Make sure
I'm off.
the first episode of what is it?
Well, it's supposed to be my Sunday brunch, but
My
it didn't
Sunday
flow, so it's Taco Sunday.
Taco Sunday. Yeah. So next week when I do a spaghetti,
Spaghetti Sunday.
spaghetti tacos.
Don't forget omelet Fridays.
That ain't a bad idea.
I'm like, dude, you can't even get up for 3 o'clock. You can cook an omelet at 9 o'clock at night.
I can get up at 3.
This isn't Dot's Diner.
I'm not sure.
Oh, dude. Anytime is a good time for an omelet.
Yes, and if nobody knows, so this is Logan Boudreaux. Him and Bubba have been friends, God knows how long.
About 2 years now.
Too long.
Logan is currently head chef at Cinclare, so Logan's the one doing all the cooking today. And then Brody, who's Brody?
He's up.
Brody.
Yeah.
Man's wearing a golf shirt. That's a golf shirt.
It's a golf shirt.
That's a golf shirt.
It's
Didn't you play
quite
golf a little
literally.
bit?
It's literally a golf shirt.
Didn't
I love this shit.
It looks
you play
nice.
golf a little bit?
Yeah, for a little bit.
Yeah, that was when you was at Grady V's.
Well, I was working at a country club and being a cook over there, so you're just looking at the greens all day long. You're like, I guess I'll give it a try, you know.
You cooked at the Masters?
No, I
You
didn't.
didn't get the chance?
I didn't. No.
That was little well, Nicholls that does the program?
Yeah.
That brings it over there? Yeah, Zach cooked over there a few times.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
He told me one time he took his shoes off and went walking the greens, and I don't believe him at all still.
Why?
Because I don't think they would let you do that at all. If you cooking French fries, I don't think they let you walk. Sorry, Zach.
So like they didn't let women into Augusta till like 10 years ago. So I thought they let Zach.
I heard about that.
We were talking about that. Tim I work with said that the other day. That golf, the acronym for golf.
Golf only, ladies forbidden. Is that what he said?
Guys
like
only.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Golf only. I'm just so juicy. Yeah. It's blue cheese or fuck your mother.
I 100% agree.
My favorite thing. No, before y'all went on your bachelor party, Bubba went get his golf clubs and he's in the backyard. And poor baby, I know why. Oh, come on.
That first one I hit with that sandwich. Smoked alley dog.
Yeah, I bet. It was so bad, y'all. The yard was all cut up, and I was like, oh, so that's why we don't go golfing like those cute couples.
First of all, I smoked the first one, and then I took my drive out. But I realized whenever we went, I forgot who it was, coached me. They were like, hey, man, put it by your front foot.
Yeah.
And then I asked Brody, we over there.
He just destroyed this drive. It was so funny. It was your driver the head fell off of when you saw him?
No, my 3-wood, yeah.
That was probably one of the funniest things I ever seen in my life.
I didn't touch my 3-wood the whole time. I'm like, hey, look, this seems like an appropriate time. And I grab it, line up, swing, ball, ding, 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 and the head is fucking flying.
And it's funny because there's 8 of us, and there's 2 different groups. And like our group just got progressively drunker and worse the whole time. Like it was so bad.
Drunk, dude.
They didn't like the other group, like they're drinking whenever having a good time, but we're like putting beers down bad. And it was just like,
Brody was like the only one that actually plays golf. Well, Blue was there.
Yeah,
but Blue got shit-faced drunk.
Yeah.
So he wasn't playing golf anymore. I found out how to drive halfway through and was hitting some stingers over there. we meet up with the other group. Brody's brother goes, "Man, I heard you've been driving the piss out the ball." I was like, "I don't know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't." I put this ball in the fucking tee, smoke it, beautiful drive, lost it, couldn't fucking find it at all. Uh, but we couldn't have ice chests. They didn't have any more ice chests, like little baggy ones for us. So they gave us some Walmart bags or whatever, filled with ice. All of our beers on there. So by the time when we bought like a case at a time, God, we drank some beer. By the time we got to it, it's just Michelob, hot as fucking horse piss.
Drinking it though. Okay.
Drank.
And it was cool because for like $10, you got like 10 cheeseburgers. It was the coolest thing ever. Like we got there and it was like you thinking like it's these stuck up guys, and then like we get there and like, oh man, he's like, let us know like when you get past 9, we'll come out and bring food to you, whatever you need. And we get like, what do you want to eat? We're like, all right, we want 4 cheeseburgers, 4 hot dogs. It's like $8.50. Like, all right, I don't know how that added up, but I'll take it.
I kind of want to switch into more like little interview style because I was excited for this one. So, Logan, tell me, did you always love cooking? Like, how did this start?
So I always like being in the kitchen. I always like watching my grandmother cook. It was always Christmas time. I'm a Boudreaux. So, Christmas time and cooking in the kitchen was always our thing. Watching Grandma Boudreaux cook was something fun for me. But I actually started Nicholls as a biology major. So I didn't start school immediately. I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do. So after a year doing that, I was like, you know what, it's too rough. I don't know if I want to do this or not. So I dropped out and I started cooking at Latour Country Club. Let's see, we're segueing back into golf here. So I started cooking at Latour Country Club just to make money, and yeah, it was cool. I had a really cool chef over there, and he had a lot of experience. So
I forgot you worked over there. Yeah.
yeah, it was about a couple of years doing that, and it was a year working there, and got right back into kitchens, and just started going from there. Started school about a year after that.
Got a club sandwich. That thing was rolled.
So at Cinclare, did you have to work your way up or you started off as the head chef?
I had to work my way up.
Yeah.
So while I was still in school, the restaurant was opening. So I had a buddy of mine who I was roommates with at the time who told me, no, there's this new restaurant opening up in town that's got a really cool menu. It's really different than what you could see around Thibodaux. So, we can get in there together if you want. So we started off as line cooks in there. Did a couple years as a cook over there, and eventually the chef that was running it before left, and we just got the opportunity to
Jump.
take the mantle. Yeah.
Aren't Crystal that worked over there?
Yeah.
Y'all weren't y'all both like
Yeah, co-chefs
co-chefs? Yeah.
at one time.
Yeah. I remember that.
It was pretty much because we were both in school. Like,
Yeah.
Cinclare was kind of in a tight spot at that point where me and her were doing a lot for the restaurant, but we were both like 6 months away from graduating college. So it was like, look, I understand putting one of y'all in this position is probably too much, but maybe if we put 2 of y'all, while y'all
Yeah,
still
makes
in school,
sense. Yeah.
y'all can spread the load.
Take the pressure off of each other. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
and we'll be able to work it out. So
I remember we were at the old house in Lockport, and the day you told me, because I always had the Food Network on, always in that household. The little TV in the kitchen though, that was always on there. Guy Fieri was always on that motherfucker. Who also, he's never done anything wrong to anybody. He's a really good person.
Flavor time.
But Logan,
dressed like him. That's how I should have.
No.
See, like
Not
fight
say
time.
anything.
Yeah, just show
never
up.
acknowledge it.
Yeah.
But Logan telling me that he's like, yeah, man, and this is, I don't know, it was like 3 in the morning or something. We just got finished playing Super Smash Bros. And he's like, yeah, man, I think I'm going to school for switch to culinary. And I was like, cool, makes sense. Always cooking. That household was always cooking.
Yeah.
We go back into the barn, and we played Super Smash Bros. Again. That's all we would do. We jammed a little bit, and we got stupid high. Then we walked back in, and Logan cooked Logan took 2 packs of ramen noodles. I don't know if you remember this night, and just made this ramen noodles of that, but like doctored it up and everything. And I remember I was just eating this ramen noodles, and I was like, man, this is the best thing I've ever had in my entire life. You're gonna be the greatest chef that there ever is. And he's like, man, I just added green onions.
Well, that too. So, because we were kind of talking about it earlier, and I was super excited for that conversation. Starting off with Bubba's craziest thing possible is how fast you could cook a gumbo in a restaurant. And that's what we were kind of talking about. So, how long do you actually cook your roux at the restaurant?
So if you're trying to get things done quick and you got a lot to do and you need to cook a gumbo, I can get a dark roux done for you in 8 to 10 minutes.
Y'all hear that? Do y'all hear that?
He thinks that's the craziest fucking thing possible.
No, I say it all the time. It takes me like 15 minutes to do my roux because, like we were saying, that's a dangerous thing.
Oh, it's very
That's
dangerous.
hot. It's burning the shit out of you the whole time.
Very dangerous. And the
Or
whole
it can.
game has changed. What you know of dark roux is all changed at that point. It's just there's a way to get to that end product without it being burnt, without it being scorched, where you can get it done quick.
So that being said, right now, roux cook off. Let's
That being said,
Oh, we're
don't
gonna
just-
burn ourselves so much.
don't just try to do it because you're probably gonna burn your house down. Or,
Yeah.
or you
That
gonna
too.
your pot.
Brody, you burned that roux that one time. You texted me. It was like a Tuesday at like 10 in the morning. I was working,
Your
I
side.
was working 7 and 7. He just texted me. I burned a roux. That was it.
It just stinks so bad. Like it's like I said earlier. Like it ruins like your house. Like if
Oh,
you burn a roux right there, just open all the windows up. Like
burn the house.
burn the house.
Burn the house down.
Throw away the pot if you're really feeling it.
Throw away the whole house.
There's very little cooking that you can kind of fuck up, but and then bring it back after. Like as a chef, I can say that there's a whole lot of cooking that you can fuck up a little bit and know how to bring it back, know how to make it good again. But a burnt roux, there's no saving. There's no coming back.
I
from
did
it.
one time. I think it was one of the times I had COVID. I had it like 6 times at this point. But we were home, and I was almost like a red jambalaya with pasta. It was whatever I had in the cabinet because I couldn't go to the store because I was sick. Um, and I was cooking like almost like a jambalaya, whatever. And that salt that you grabbed earlier, the big Mediterranean sea salt, that chunky boy, I swear I put when I boiled the noodles, I made it
Oh,
So-
yeah.
the water salty. But it was like a linguine noodle, and it soaked it all up. And then I salted the pot as well. And then when I took a bite, I mean, you just quenched. And I was trying to look up thing after thing of how to counteract the salt.
Potatoes? Did I make potatoes?
They'll work a little bit, but
Dude, it was.
No, I did.
Trying to be so supportive. I took a bite. I was like,
Dude, it was so bad.
it was horrific.
I did lemons, limes, milk, potatoes. I had added like another, and at one point I added so much stuff it was too much, so I had to transfer it to another pot, and we ended up eating a tortilla pizza.
Shit show. That is one of my absolute favorite things about Bubba though, because growing up I was so spoiled. My mom cooked all the time. I just didn't learn how to cook. I mean, I was busy. I cheered and everything in school,
me too.
so I just didn't. Shut up,
Yeah.
Christian.
Very cheerful.
Ruin everything. I just didn't learn how to cook. I don't know. And my grandma's cooked, whatever. But when his grandma's cooked, it was like he was watching and he was learning and everything. This man, just with how empty that fridge is right now, I promise you, he could put together an entire meal that is, it's just insane. Like anything, he can. I feel like I don't know how I want to say this.
No, well, I mean,
Like you could just throw anything together.
yeah, we all know that because I mean, one that comes with growing up poor is how to make anything. We go and like we went to the store the other day. She's like, just grab some stuff that like you can throw together. I'm like, all right, ground meat,
Yeah, $100 later, I like to shit myself at the
Tacos.
checkout.
potatoes, tomatoes, onions, garlic. Just got a bunch of regular stuff.
7,000 cans of corn. Why? I don't know. You need corn? We got some.
I didn't know. I bought 2 cans of corn.
It was like
I
$4.
figured I was gonna cook a biscuit at one point.
But also, I've been on this kick of Mexican corn. Oh,
the elote. Yeah.
yes. I never say it because I feel like I'm gonna say it wrong, and then like how that goes.
So how do you say what? So what we cooking? The motor all tacos.
Yeah.
So what is it? Brilla?
Burrito.
Berea.
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 Berea tacos.
Yeah.
So walk us through that. What do we have going on? Little small process, start to finish.
Right. So Berea tacos are essentially meat that's braised for a long time in liquid, and you're using that same liquid to dip your tortillas in and building your tacos after. So they get the whole, you fold them over in a pan where they're crisped up like a quesadilla is, with that meat that's been stewed for a long time. There's something like Berea soup or stew where it's without the tortillas, where you just serve what we're simmering in the pot right now, and it's Berea soup. There's a ton of different ways to serve Berea. It just comes down to how you put it together, which is essentially in Mexican cooking just a stewed down piece of beef. Very simple. There's quesadillas as well, which is like the whole cheese quesadilla, wrapped around this Berea meat.
Eat some cheese now.
Wait, is that really you? So it's really quesadilla?
It's close to a quesadilla, like queso Berea
But no,
taco.
how you say it?
No.
Is it quesadilla? Like for real?
Quesadilla.
Oh.
Dia.
Cook yourself a goddamn quesadilla.
About to lose my mind. I was like, ain't no way.
You can
Sorry,
say
I'm
things however you want. You say it how you feel.
Yeah.
But then around people like y'all, no, you cannot.
Yeah, you can't. I'm lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't say it that
I'm
way.
gonna make fun of you.
Dang quesadilla.
It is funny, but interesting. So I try my hardest to venture out in different types of meals and different things to cook. So it's not always just Cajun.
I was
But
talking about your curry earlier.
I
Dude.
told her to go eat it somewhere else. So she don't like it. I said, well, no offense to him. I don't know how good it is, but go eat it somewhere else and see if you like it.
But yeah, no, 100% accurate. It's funny. We had this place that closed down for COVID, but it was in Kenner, and you order 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's the exact same food that you wanted, that you get no matter what. It was just a level of spice for butter chicken and curry. And whenever the first time I went go pick it up, I walk into this place, and I tell them, I'm like, I need 4 number 4s. She's like, all right, serving it up, and I look to the right, and there's this back room, and they're smoking cigarettes in this restaurant, and you see the pots, and like I'm like, them things are seasoned as hell.
Just like the 90s.
Oh yeah, it was like that scene in Goodfellas, like when they're in the prison. So I look, and they're smoking cigarettes, and I'm like, they're playing cards, and I'm like, this is crazy. And they just look at me, and one guy just gets up and closes the door right in my face. It was the best freaking butter chicken I've ever had in my fucking life.
It's a closed club, but
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we were talking about earlier too, of how you said that hot topics of like food that we do and don't like. And I thought that your curry and butter chicken, how insane you are about that. That I just don't like it much. And I also talked about how much we've argued over a dark roux. I
Oh.
don't like a dark roux.
food is the best for hot takes. There's so many hot takes in food because it's all.
Well, that's what I was saying. What I wanted to get at, it was how similar things are. It blew my mind. Just the same way you cooking this is the same way that I would cook. I mean, a ragu patat or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Just Cajun dishes. I mean, how many things? The other day I cooked a gumbo. I just threw all my chicken and sausage and some of those smokies. Threw it out all, just rendered it down, took it all out, and then added all of that in the render down fat or whatever from the andouille and stuff.
Hot take. I don't like my food. I don't like anything with bones in it. Gumbo, if you put a whole ass little chicken wing in there, I don't like it. I don't want it.
You taste it for that bone marrow.
It's gonna make it taste good, but see,
I take them
I'm the
out.
same way when it comes like with people that make like seafood gumbos with whole half cracked
Crabs?
crab. I can't stand it.
I don't
Why?
like it either.
I throw
Like
a
you
whole oyster
don't like-
unopened, oyster shell and all.
So like I'm all for cooking it with it in it, but like take them like
I take it.
Thank
I
you.
usually take it out.
Like I was saying, like with chicken, like my mom always, like my grandma, they put like whole chicken in. I don't like it. Like I want, like you can cook it with the whole time, but then whenever, don't be mad whenever I literally just take it peel the chicken off and put it in my gumbo.
Right. I don't want a whole drum in my bowl.
That's what I remember. I remember being young and my dad could cook a fucking Pop-Tart and put a bay leaf on that motherfucker. He would fucking everything that we ate would fucking bay leaves. And I was always mad because I'm just fucking picking around bay leaves the whole damn time. I tried getting my friend, Philip Porsche,
Oh yeah.
to write a song about it with Nong Nu. Finding the bay leaf in the gumbo is like finding the baby in the king cake.
Oh, it's perfect.
That's the most Nong Nu.
Really good.
Yeah. I went to write it, but it wasn't good.
Oh, baby.
I don't have that big white bird.
Ooh, but,
Have you ever heard that song?
we know we all
For the listeners, you have to go listen to understand.
go listen to Knock New Big White Bird. It's fine. That'd be
So
a
if
good-
you find the bay leaf, what's the prize? You know, you find the baby in the
You
king
gotta-
cake. You gotta
you
buy the king cake.
You got to bring the potato salad next year.
Yeah.
Oh, bruh, listen to this story. Look, because I'm sure Brody's heard it before. So when me and Bubba, I think it was gonna be our first Thanksgiving that he was gonna be coming to my family, and we had been together for almost a year. And him and my uncle were drunk, and it's my uncle that we have the holidays at his house. And they were drunk and they BSing, and he was talking. He was like, "Bubba, you always talk about how good you cook. You sure ain't bring nothing for offered to bring nothing for Thanksgiving." And Bubba's like, "All right, what you got? What you need? I got it." And he was like, "Well, nobody said potato salad. Bring the potato salad." And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna bring the potato salad." Bruh. The next day he tells me, he's like, "Oh, your Uncle Ty wants me to bring potato salad. He said he wanted to bring potato salad." And he laughed. And I was like, "Okay, how good of a potato salad can you cook?" And he was like, "No, it's a joke." And I was like, no. Like, I don't know why you would think that. Dude, when I tell you, argued over this fucking potato salad. We pull up
I
at
mean, we were
Thanksgiving.
both shit faced, and there was always no. I went to Thanksgiving before, and there was a bomb ass potato salad.
Might have been our second, yeah.
Yeah,
And then we pull up to Thanksgiving. I'm like, Christian, I'm fucking telling you, they wanted the potato salad. Nobody's bringing potato salad. We pull up and everybody's like, "Oh, we can eat potato salads here." Guess who came up empty handed? So caught hell for the next year. Bruh still catches hell. This is 2 years ago.
the next year, my
Oh.
big Magnolite pipe,
I was about to say I'd bring
To the
ketchup
top.
every-
I filled it up to the top. It was about a 45-pound potato salad that I brought over there, and her uncle likes I like my like a dirty potato salad. So what I like to do is chop up a bunch of pickled okra and throw that in too. Because I think I texted you a while back. I was on this journey for the longest time to make a light
Potato salad.
potato salad. And I texted Logan, and he's like, "There's no such thing as a light potato
It's
salad."
literally it's mayonnaise and potatoes. Like what do
Mayonnaise, potato.
you want to do with it?
But
I mean, making a light potato salad means making potato salad like you're from Vermont. You know, like
I
there's
just wanted to make a refreshing potato salad, and to me, the way it worked was the pickled flavor that I had found. So using a little bit of juice from the pickled okra, I put a little bit of juice from banana peppers in as well, so that when you're eating a big hearty gumbo, you have something to help counteract it. And I put some olives in it, all kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't
Gross.
I don't like potato salad. I like all the stuff that people put in potato salad that makes it like whatever, but I don't like it. like that.
Potatoes, eggs.
No, like how you said, like how people put like onion or like pickles and stuff like that. But I don't want it in my.
you see, I like plain potato
Plain.
salad
Yeah,
too.
me too.
Like
but
eggs, potatoes, mayonnaise, mustard.
Yes.
Maybe a little bit of mustard, but like people love putting relish and pickles, and
I
I'm just not about it.
I'm telling y'all.
I'll eat it.
Telling y'all.
I mean, it's good. Hot might be a hot take.
That is,
That
it's
is
so
very
funny.
much another
That's
hot
what it
take.
should be called, Sunday
hot
hot takes. Because there's nothing more aggravating than one of her favorite things to eat, tomato soup. She was sick one time.
With grilled cheese.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So
But my grilled cheese is a lot better than his.
so one time she's sick, and I'm like, look, I'm gonna cook a tomato soup. So I go all out. Everything I do. I mean, fucking obviously. Um, I'm looking up different recipes, and I'm getting everything, and um, I got all my tomatoes, salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic, put a little bit of lemon on it, balsamic vinaigrette, and I put them to broil. And did that, and she walks up and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Because he always has to be so extra. Everything
She's
is
like, "I
so
just want a
fucking
fucking
extra.
tomatoes."
Dude, with the way you talk about food, I'm telling you, man, you should have been a cook at some point in your life. It's
I agree,
I love
honestly.
it. Well, I love um like when Jaren was here last time, him and his girlfriend. Um, Earlier that morning, he had his dad's funeral, and I texted him and I was like, "Hey man, you staying the night?" He's like, "Yeah, we're here till Monday." I'm like, "Come over, let me cook for you. Y'all come hang out." I never got to meet his girlfriend. They've been dating forever, so they come over, and I enjoy nothing more than people sitting right here, having this part of the table open, cooking, prepping everything, and just hosting people. I love that so much.
That was one of your first pickup lines on me. He texted me how you said it. You want to come over? And I
That
think I
shit's
had
the
something
best.
to do. And he was like, "No, come over. I'll cook. You drink. We eat." And that was one of the first pickup
I cooked
lines.
chicken parmesan.
Yep.
It worked, didn't
Um,
it?
I didn't have Arbor Mist.
bro, I'm on a kick. I don't know
Still
what
on
it
an
is.
Arbor Mist kick.
I didn't have money, and
It's
I
raspberry
wanted
Sprite.
it basically, and I wanted some
She get
some
mad.
wine, and that's it. I'll fuck up some Arbor Mist. It might take 2 bottles. I'll fuck up some Arbor Mist. Hot take.
So like Jenna's not a drinker. She's a wino now. Like that's why I always make fun of her because she's always like, because I forget what this wine is that she likes, but it's like blueberry Moscato or something like that, and then she always drinks it. I'm
Wait,
like,
is it Arbor Mist?
no, it's not. It's something. So like the one of the guys from work actually went to that winery or whatever. It's in like in Indiana or something like that.
It's like an actual wine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not expensive. It's like $10, $12 a bottle, but it's really good.
See, now I can buy that. Before I was
Hey.
poor.
Miller High Life is cheap. Oh,
You
I was
changed.
drinking Michelob.
You changed.
Amber wanted the Mickey's.
My fault. Because I like Michelob because Miller just makes me so, ugh, like heavy. And so I decided to start drinking Michelob. You know how much fucking money we got to spend for both of us to buy each a case of beer a night
Didn't that
to
cost like
drink?
$25 for a case of Michelob?
I got
32.
Friday
Bought
night.
some last night. $32 for a case of Michelob.
Friday night, I got a case of Michelob and a vape, and it was $57. And I forgot.
Coors
I
Light.
remember, boy, we used to
Ours
drink
is
some
super cheap.
the Miller High Lifes.
Oh man,
That would get
we'd get
consumed.
we get 12 bottles for like $7.
Yeah. Right up there by Frank's. We'd tend to be like, "Chase, man, what you doing? You want to go run to the store for us?" Chase come back. Oh, it was so hot in that backyard. Drinking them things, that bottle would get hot instantly. Oh, we finished so many fucking Miller High Lifes in that backyard. Jesus
So it's
Christ.
like a weird dynamic, like with
PTSD.
me, because like when I'm hanging out with Bubba or like Bubba was hanging out with Logan, like I'm not musically talented at all. So I
Hey,
always,
you can play
so I
breakdown though.
always get reeled in to like, hey man, we're going by Logan's house. All right, I'll come ride. And then it's just them jamming for like 4 hours. I'm just sitting there like, "Oh, I guess I'm just gonna sit here.
I'm so glad somebody else feels that pain because people like I feel like people look down on me when I'm like they fucking jamming. They're like, "You're not supporting Bubba, like
I tell
doing what he loves." I'm like, no, it's fucking obnoxious. Just twiddling my thumbs. I got shit to do. Play the tambourine.
Every single time I would be like, "Hey, Brody, man, we gonna hang out. We're gonna drink some beer. We're gonna cook some food. Come hang out. Where you going? Logan's. Look, bro,
Fuck. If
not going.
I'll go, but whenever y'all start jamming,
Is Pagan gonna be there? Yeah, I'm fucking definitely not going.
or like I'm the work, like Bubba would be doing something, and he'd be like, "Hey, look, check." I like, "Look, dude, you showed me this last week, and I know it might be a little different to you, but it's gonna sound the same thing to me. So don't play it again.
Thank you.
Let's get out the house. Let's roll."
We talked about it on MJ and Jerry's podcast because, like, I felt bad because I want to support him and I know how bad he wanted me to listen to this new take that has 2 different itty bitty sounds that he has to be like, no, listen. Do you hear it? Listen to the background. Like, baby, it's the same fucking thing. I don't
You
understand.
could hear it. You
And
could
it
hear it.
is so I would get so annoyed. I felt so bad. So it makes me feel so much better that you get it.
Or like I remember one time he's like, "You hear anything different with this?"
Yes.
There's no bass. I'm like, a lot of you, Bubba. I hear no difference.
The
It sounds exactly the
The
same.
only time I hear it is when he's actually like mixing stuff in the studio and like the one with the Beck's background. That's the coolest fucking one. whenever he actually turns off everything and you listen to it, like it was Beck. I
got
think everybody's just
I got
talking.
a new song that I'm doing, and the song. So I was telling you earlier, I'm working on a concept album. So it's kind of fucked up, but it's about meeting a girl, falling in love with a girl, the girl dying, and then you have to find yourself at the end. Um, and one of the in the song, the first song about meeting the girl at the bar, I was like, it's got to be a bar room. You know, I want that aspect and I want that feel of it. And as a chef, there's that sound.
Yeah.
You're able to like of people having a good time, like, but like just everybody's captivated, everybody's doing
It's an atmosphere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Perfect.
So I was like, I need to add that. So one last time we were at Beck's, whenever we had took a break, I took my phone and I just recorded the room for like I don't know, like 5 minutes. And during the verses, while the guitar's playing, the vocals are going on and everything like that, I put it way in the background. And it's one of my favorite things to do is show people music and be like, "Do you hear this?" I'd be like, "Do you hear a bar room?" No, not at all. And then I solo it out. And you're like, "You didn't put that in there." Yeah, I fucking did.
Talking about it like this reminds me of like cooking certain things in my kitchen where one of my cooks, like we cook the same things every week, but that next week I'll do a little something a little different,
Mhm.
Be like, hey, come over here. I need you to try this, My cook's like, oh wow, yeah, I taste that little different, thing that you put in there, that little difference of salt, that little difference of acid. And then you call like somebody like a server to come in and they're just tasting it. It's like, oh yeah, it's
Same
good.
shit.
Well, that's how it's exactly what
It's
you were
fine.
saying. I was gonna relate that to that. It's funny with food. Um, I always got to fucking go extra and try to find new ways to do things or whatever. And the time I cooked the tomato soup, when she saw me putting balsamic vinaigrette in there, she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
You fucking Campbell's though.
I'm like, trust me, it's gonna add a deep flavor that like it's just you're not gonna recognize it all. It's the same thing with music. Having that in the background, you would have had no idea. But if I just take it all out, completely changes the whole thing.
Yep, it's that
Some
extra
people,
little layer.
yeah, like when me and Jenna first started dating, I went up there. She was living in Monroe. It was her birthday, so I was like, I'm gonna cook her a steak. She loves steaks. So I went up there and I bought these nice ribeyes or whatever. I cooked them. They were really good. Like 2 weeks later, we went to Texas Roadhouse, and she's like, "Oh my god, this is my favorite steak." I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?" But now she knows. Like now I have it kind of down pat to where she likes. But like she's the same way. Like with tomato soup, same thing. Like I'll go like I do all this stuff. She's like, "Why didn't like Rotolo's has like a can like you can buy?" She's like, "It's like $8, bro. To just buy the thing
Mhm.
at Rotolo's and buy like American cheese and Evangeline bread. I don't want this bread and that. I just want plain. All right."
Agree.
That's another thing I did. So when I made that tomato soup, after that I made the grilled cheese.
Mm.
And
No, he doesn't put mayonnaise on his grilled cheese when you put it in the pan.
What you put?
Just butter.
a whole stick of butter on that
But
motherfucker.
you gotta put mayonnaise.
Mine
So
is.
mine has on that grind meat.
Mayonnaise. Oh,
Um, but
grind meat.
Great.
I made some uh the grilled cheese, and I was thinking, I was like, man, what would be a great counteracted to it? I was like, pickles on the grilled cheese in there. I was like, that would be fucking awesome.
I like to.
Or the tomato soup you're already making for
Literally, thank you.
Oh, I'm saying inside of all of it, I'm like, I'm gonna put some
The
pickles on the grilled cheese.
bowl of acid.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
pot of acid.
And he never wants to put or like a ham sandwich. He always wants to put pickles, but it's not regular pickles. It's those
Pickles, pickle.
that they're like spicy, but they're just not
They're
good.
they're
I'm not sorry, they're not
they're
good.
pickled in ghost peppers. Oh,
Why?
you ever had them?
a ghost pepper?
No, no, no. The pickles in the ghost pepper.
No, never.
Well, we have 7 fucking
I'll give you a
jars.
jar.
You can take.
It's so good, you would love it.
So wait, no, ghost pepper? Like you've eaten a ghost pepper before?
No.
Oh.
Hell no.
Like that's what I love spicy food, but like people are like, "Oh, would you eat this?" No. Like at work,
It's
like
not a good time.
guys will bring like I remember one time this
Dude,
brought
we
these
had that spicy
spicy
shit.
peanuts, and there's like 3 of them in this container. It cost like $20, and this dude ate one, and he just started like tears like going out of his face. I'm like, why would you eat that? That's
Dude,
so.
whenever
Okay.
we
So back in the day at Cinclare, we had a couple line cooks who I worked with. Before I was chef, when I was just a cook, these couple line cooks were, the degenerate types. So
What you hear about, yeah.
Yeah.
Rock star
they
lifestyle.
are a line cook to the fullest, and they're growing hot peppers under their carport just because that's what they find enjoyment in. We're talking ghost peppers, we're talking Carolina Reapers, we're
Yeah.
talking all the crazy stuff that I've never heard of in my life, but it's all hot, so hot. So it was like a weekly occurrence to come into work, and we're all starting our prep, and one of the line cooks just reaches into his little front pocket he's got on his coat and pulls out this tiny little pepper there and just puts it on the board in front of me and says, "All right, we're gonna try this today." So we take our sharpest knife and we cut the tiniest little sliver off the side of it, and we all put it on the tip of our tongue and then regret it for the rest of the day. We're talking the tiniest little piece that we're slivering off of this one pepper,
That fucking.
and we're like depleting a gallon of milk that we have in the fridge.
Hot ones. So we love hot ones, and Bubba loves hot sauce. So I had seen it's like a big chicken balls, which popcorn chicken, and they have
Orange chicken nuggets.
they have them at Walmart, and it comes with like 3 different sauces, I think. And so you
Yeah,
get
it was the original one they had, and what was that?
I don't know. I don't care because I'm not buying it again. I'm not spending money on that. It was the worst experience of my entire life. Like it's
I
not
had COVID
even.
that time.
You don't even taste anything. Like
I-
you don't
I
taste
sent you
anything
a
but
picture.
pain.
Me and Mason.
You and Mason, yeah. I was like,
we had
fuck.
ate it was at the time like the hottest one. Remember they had at Mason's on some pizza, and it wasn't. I mean, granted, we were like you said, like it would almost be like putting like the smallest little sliver of a pepper. We put like the tiniest minute like on a whole piece of pizza, and like you was like, oh god, this is hot, but like it wasn't crazy.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
so
so
they
good.
give you, let's say, I don't know, 32 chicken nuggets or whatever, bone.
I'd buy it again just for the nuggets. Them
Okay.
bitches was big.
So you did that, and then you got 3 sauces. So let's say they give you 15, so I can separate them into 3. I tossed ones in the original, and I tossed another one. That other sauce, it was so good. I forgot what it is.
Was it the Mexican one? The, like
Yeah.
Los Calientes or
The Los Calientes,
Yes.
That was
exactly.
good.
That bitch was so good. And then I did the other 5 in
It's
the
like
last
popcorn
dab.
pops. Yeah,
And then as I'm doing it, I take a bite of the original one, the least spiciest, and I'm like, that's good. And I try the Los Calientes, I'm like, little kick, it's not bad. And I try one of the
Crying.
hottest
I was
ones.
literally crying.
I tried one of the last dab ones, and I ate one, and I was like, fuck. But I was so hungry that we split the other 10, but there was still 5 left. Like I don't know why I just didn't do 1 each in that other sauce. It was so fucking stupid.
Dude, we were talking about this earlier, how it's crazy how spice is almost like a drug, depending on how much you eat. There's a certain level of spice that you can try to consume, and it starts to take over in ways that,
For Zach's,
different drugs.
Can't you like hallucinate?
Yeah.
yes,
Oh yeah.
for Zach's bachelor party, we went to the Old Smoky Distillery, and they had Prince's the food truck, and we fucking order. Me and Big Mac walk up, and there's 9 different levels of heat. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna get the hottest one, but if I'm getting Nashville hot chicken, I have to fucking get it hot. So I go and there's XX hot, there's XXX hot, XX hot, X hot, hot, whatever. So I'm like, give me the XX hot. And she looks at me and she goes, oh, no, baby, that's hot. And I look at her and I go, yeah, I'm from South Louisiana. She goes, no, baby, that's hot. So I'm like, I don't care. I need to try it if it's hot. Because there's levels to this shit. You forget about it.
You remember it real quick once you ate it. How
Yeah.
different levels.
Dude. So they hand her our ticket, and we're like, all right, we're just sitting right there. She's like, oh, it's gonna be a little while. I was telling Logan earlier, I look at her and go, I ordered 3 tenders. She was like, yeah, it's gonna be around 45 minutes to an hour. I'm like, for 3 tenders? And she just points and there was about 150 people all waiting for their food, and there's only 2 cooks in there, and she's just working the front.
Yeah.
And there's different containers. So they fry the chicken, and I look back there, and they're just dunking it in the flavor levels or whatever, or the heat levels. And all Nashville chicken is, it's, you know, they season the chicken, and then they fry it, and then they dunk it back in old grease that's
Yeah, so they can put the seasoning
with
and stuff.
more heat on it. Dude, when they pulled out the one I got, it was fucking black. And I'm like, I fucked up. I fucked up. I sit down, I took one bite, and I'm like, this is so delicious. And I looked down, and the bread that it was on top of was just like disintegrating. And I was like, okay. I took another bite, and then like you were just saying, just tunnel vision, pulsating. The room was just pulsating. Everything was spinning. It's like I was listening. I was a fucking Tool song at this point, dude. Spiraling, keep going, spiral, keep going, spiral, keep going. Mom's gonna fix it all soon. I didn't know what was happening. I'm fucking sweating. I'm crying. I go to the bathroom, go take a piss. Worst mistake of my fucking life, because now I got the clap on top of the fucking shit, dude. Oh my God. And I'm like, I gotta finish it. I waited an hour and a half of these 3 tenders. I finished it, and then there was like one small little piece. I cut it up. Zach tried one, and he was like, oh my God, what is this? And then Jonathan Alamo was there. He fucking takes a bite, and he was losing his shit just on that. Big Mac just had the regular high.
Yeah.
He was fucking crying. It was, you forget, like, levels to this shit.
Well, we went to Hattie B's or whatever for mine, and like you like I Bubba must have had like a heat check like big time because when we were in line, like, which one you getting? He's like, I'm getting that one, and it was like 2 like from the bottom. He's like, I'm not even messing with it
Nope,
this time.
nope.
And I had got like 3 from the, I forget what the like that ring thing was, but like 3 from the top, and like Bubba looked at me and I was like, yeah, it's hot. Like it definitely is hot. Like I'm not gonna show y'all how hot it is, but it's hot.
Oh, that bachelor party was so fucking. So
Short and fast.
short and
Quick,
fast.
knock it out.
Let him up. No, yeah. So we go to Brody's bachelor party. We go to Nashville. It was one time we all go out, and I was done. They were like, "We're going to another bar," and I was like, "I gotta go back." I'm
FaceTime me. I have pictures. He was literally sleeping on FaceTime on the stairs. Like,
It was such a long day. Like it's like
that was the day we played golf.
I always say that like some people like they take their time. Like we have no take. Like we don't know how to take our time. Like it's like start at 8 o'clock, stop
Roll.
whenever you have to. Like it's just you just roll.
So I'm like, I gotta go back to the fucking condo. I go back to the condo. I'm FaceTiming her. I fall asleep on the stairs. I wake up, and I fucking caught like my 11th win. I was like, I'm gonna drink some beer. So
We were on our way back finally, so we told him like, hey, look, we're on our way back.
so I go up to the rooftop, and I'm just sitting there and drinking a beer by myself, you know, being an alcoholic. And I hear some guys talking, and all the condos, it was like 3 stories and then a rooftop. There's a big condominium, and I look over, and these dudes are just being guys. So I walk up, and I'm like, hey, what's happening, guys? Y'all got any Miller Lite? They're like, bro, do we? We need help drinking it. I'm like, I fucking help drink some Miller Lite. So I jumped the fucking fence on the wall onto their rooftop. I'm hanging out with them, and they're like, so what you doing over here, man? What brings you to Nashville? And I'm like, it's my buddy Brody's bachelor party. We're over here, we're just celebrating, having a good time. And they were like, nice, man. Is he here? And I go, they all went to another bar, dude. I was like, I had to come back. I was like, I got blitzed. I fell asleep on the stairs. They're laughing. And then we're like, cool, man. So you in his wedding? And I was like, yeah. I was like, he asked me to serve in his wedding. I was like, he's one of my best fucking friends ever. I was like, me and this guy have been best friends forever. Always got each other's backs. He's one of the nicest guys you ever meet. And they go, cool. And then right after that, you just hear a loud bang behind us. And we all turn around. And Brody comes out shirtless, holding his pants, just in his drawers, and just goes, "What up, you big nose bitch?" And I look at him and I go, "That's Brody." I walk over there and he goes, "Hey, y'all got any Miller Lite over there?" I go, "Yeah." Go to throw him a beer and he goes, "No, I'm coming." He tried jumping over the wall to the next thing,
Right.
ate shit. Took him 3 times to be able to do it. Fell on the other side each time.
Didn't stay there long.
Yeah. Jumps over, grabs a beer, opens it up, takes a sip. All right, I'm going home. Fuck y'all. We sit there, he goes to sleep, and he looked, and then one of those guys, he had a restaurant in Ohio. So I'm talking to him about food, and he goes, "Hey, your buddy said he was going home." And I was like, "Oh fuck, I should check on that."
I was just downstairs. I was cooking breakfast. It was 4:30 in the morning.
Who was cooking breakfast?
But dude, like that next day, and what it's kind of like, one of those things is like you eat something and it's like, oh man, it's so good, but you think it's because like you're just so hungry. The next day we were so hungover, and we would eat this barbecue place, and it was so good. That's some of the best barbecue.
That was the one place that like all the tourists say you need to actually go there.
Right.
Well, what we had, brisket, everything we had was brisket.
Y'all had like got like a big like platter like for y'all, and then me and Luke had got like a couple things.
It was so good.
Oh yeah, Nashville does some good barbecue.
So I was curious too, because you had started talking about it and then we all rambled. Whenever you change up stuff, so is it you that comes up with the menu, like all that crazy shit you see on Facebook? How do you like? Is this stuff like something inspires you that you
No, he's got Pinterest, baby.
like? How do you keep up with that shit?
Zero Pinterest. Chris,
Zero
right?
Pinterest.
Well, it's just being in the industry for so long. I think the spectrum of what we like to cook is very broad. Like things like curry and ethnic food like doesn't really intimidate me or scare me to try anymore. So there's so much food out there, and whether it's just Googling different things or watching different TV shows that sort of inspire different things, like it doesn't matter. I'm confident enough now to say that as a chef, that if something inspires me, I can figure out how to make it happen. Like there's not a whole lot of intimidation anymore as far as like how to get to a finished product. So it's really just watching a lot of TV, going through the internet a lot, talking. We do a lot of
Say it, Logan. Just say it.
fucking Pinterest.
Zero.
But has something ever came out that you were like, oh yeah, banger, and it came out as like terrible?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And there's a lot of dishes that I've done in the past where we've gotten them to be bangers. We've gotten to the finished product where I know this is gonna go on a menu. This is gonna do really well for us, but it was completely terrible at first.
They used to do a chocolate gumbo over there. And it was so bad. No, but one of the only things that y'all keep on the menu year round is the alligator andouille cheesecake. What is it?
Well, it's Rangoons now. So when I first started at Cinclare, the chef that I worked under, the original dish was alligator and andouille cheesecake. So it was really just a cream cheese base. It was a savory cheesecake filled with andouille sausage, alligator meat, some Trinity in there, some different types of cheeses. It's really rich. It's really filling.
Sounds like a chocolate gumbo.
Tastes terrible.
You could see why it's so popular, and I guess it was because of just working under another chef, and I didn't want to like ride on that coattail my entire time that I was there, that changing it to a Rangoon just made sense to me. So instead of, we take the same filling, we take the same exact recipe that I grew up learning with him, and we just put it inside of, egg roll wrappers and deep fry them. And
Nice.
Oh
I gotta tell this story.
Oh god.
I gotta tell the story. It's one of my favorite stories of all time. And it's in recent memory. So I work at a music store. Logan plays music.
I know where you're going.
Right.
Logan texts me one day and goes, "Hey man, do you have any nice drum thrones?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." And he
Okay.
goes, "What do y'all have?" And I sent him some pictures, and he goes, "Yeah, I'll take that." And he goes, "How much is it?" I give him the hookup price. He's like, "Fuck, okay." Venmo me the money, pay for it. Uh, I was running sound that night in Thibodaux at the Foundry, and I get over there and I text Logan. I'm like, "Hey man, if you at the restaurant, I'm 2 blocks over. I could bring you the throne and some drumsticks." And he's like, "Yeah, come over." So I finish picking everything up. I go over there, and I'm outside. I'm waiting.
Oh, this was like a Friday night,
Yeah,
7:30. Like this is prime
it's
time for me.
prime time. I'm blowing up his phone, texting him. I'm like, "Just unlock your truck. I'll throw it in the truck." Um, no answer. I'm calling him, no answer. And I know you're busy. And I'm like, "Fuck, man, I don't want to go back to Raceland and have to get him to drive all the way to Raceland for it." Um, and I'm about to give up hope at this point. Get bit by mosquitoes, and finally, boom, the door just gets fucking kicked wide the fuck open. And Logan just comes out like this and goes, "Drop that." I just drop the sticks and a throne in the box, and he just goes, "Here." And just dumps something into my
Eat
hand.
this.
And he goes, "Eat this." And I'm holding it, and it was a deep fried soft shell crab with like fucking noodles and whatever it was on top of it. And I'm like, okay. So now I'm walking with him to his truck, like out of my fucking hands. We get back over there, and I'm like, "That shit's good, dude." And he's like, "I fucking know. I gotta go." And just goes inside. He runs back in the restaurant. I'm like, "Okay." So now my hands are just full of fucking grease. And I get in
That's literally how he got in the car. He like opened the door with his pinky and he's like,
I
"That's
get in
what
there.
the fuck just
And he goes, "What
happened?"
just happened?" And I'm like, "Logan, I ate a crab." I ate a crab.
And what's funny, like all right, from my perspective on this is we're rushing around the kitchen. It's crazy, it's chaotic, and I finally get to look at my phone. I'm like, oh shit! All right, but Bubba's standing outside of the restaurant right now. It's probably been 10 minutes. I need to get to him, and I'm looking around the kitchen, and I'm like, hey, cook 2 of those crabs, not 1, all right? Cook 2.
That's a good friend. That's solid.
Oh yeah, when he walked up and he goes, "Here, eat this." And I just, okay. It's funny. So what it was, probably about a month ago, I was playing music at Renee's in Thibodaux, and uh, we take a break. I go to the bathroom. I look up and I see Chase and Woody, Lil Woody, and I'm like,
When he was there, I never would have guessed.
"Oh no, new Renee's, yeah." But I'm like, "Holy shit!" I'm like, "What are y'all doing here?" And Woody goes, "You texted me to come." I'm like, "Oh yeah, true." So we go, we're bullshitting, and then Miss Louise was there, uh, Katie, and then I see Logan walking through the door. He walks up, and we're all bullshitting, whatever. And I told Chase that story of the crab, and he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm sitting at the restaurant earlier," and he goes, Logan just walks up to me and just goes, pulls out his hand and goes, "Hey man, stuff this in your pocket." So Chase is sitting there, I don't know, thinking like it's some weed or whatever. I don't know. And he goes, "All right," shoves it in his pocket. He walks out later and he goes, "Hey man, you still got that thing on you?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Let me see it." What's that? It's just black truffle.
So I've heard that truffle is really, I say I've heard, I've seen it on the internet. That truffle is
Interesting.
not really even that good. Like it's like you have to have the palate for it.
It's a built up acquired flavor. It's something that you have to try once, and over time eating at enough nice restaurants you can appreciate it. But it really starts with appreciating mushrooms. Like if you really grow
I fucking love
really, if
mushrooms.
you really love mushrooms, take that next step. And if you can find, I know truffle's a little bit hard to find, but like
Yeah.
truffle oil is really affordable in grocery stores, and you could sprinkle it on top of pasta and all kinds of different stuff, and it gives that flavor. It's the next step from mushrooms, you know.
See, I would love to take that advice and go and buy it, but I know that Christian's gonna put it on like a fucking grilled cheese or something and be like, "Here you go, baby. This is high class." No,
High class grilled cheese.
I
that
like
is
to.
missing.
I truly I like Bubba. Bubba loves to cook certain things, and like I'm one of those people. Like I feel like I can cook, like any home cook can do. There's some things I like to let other people cook. Like we were talking about like Thai food. Like I don't want to cook Thai food.
Yeah.
I want somebody who's like A+ game cooking it, because then I won't. It's like I appreciate it more. Like I got this person who puts the time and then knows how to do it. Like
That makes
And
sense.
it's a difficult thing.
Yeah.
It's that's not starter food. Like
No.
that's you don't just like to cook and you start cooking curry. Like
yeah,
that's
exactly.
Well, even down to like fried rice, because we always try to do we always do stir fry. And Bubba can make some banging stir fry. But when we try to do the fried rice with it, it's just never quite the same. I don't know what it is. Like no matter what we add, it's just never, hey, grab me one.
Well, the big thing about fried rice, a lot of mistake that people make is you try to cook your rice and then cook that rice in the same day.
I feel like I don't know if we talked about it on a podcast.
We did it for
Y'all talked about this on another podcast.
so I
Or maybe we just talked.
no, we did it on a podcast. The first Drunk Lovebirds episode.
Oh yeah, that one's not coming out either. I'm sorry for everybody
No, it
that
is
for
out.
part 2. No, for the part 2.
Oh, the part 2. No, yeah.
Sorry about that. It was rough.
But
No.
I cooked some fried rice. And I think I found the life hack to it using minute rice.
Oh, come on, Bubba.
I know.
And you bought that minute rice, not me.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's all we eat. Like on a weekday thing, we eat minute rice, just because we both. I get home at 5:30.
Yeah.
And he gets home at whatever time.
Oh yeah.
That's why there's a jar of roux in there.
No, I get it. Like I'll cook myself minute rice depending on what I cook, but like I'm here to tell you that
That's not.
there are easier ways.
No,
Say
but
yes, I do.
That's not it, Chief.
but I've done it before. Just boil some regular jasmine rice and like exactly like you're saying, and then go and frying it right after. It's just all mushy.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it's horrible. The minute rice, then. You cook the minute rice, 5 minutes in the pack.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it minute rice. It should call it just 5-minute rice. And then I coated it with heavy olive oil and fried it, and then added everything that I cooked before.
That's when it was good.
And that shit was rolling.
You see that minute rice is like parboiled rice.
Uh-huh.
That's why people love using parboiled rice for jambalayas and stuff, is because the grains don't stick to one another. Because you can, it's separate, it's loose. It doesn't get mushy on you like that.
Mm.
And that's why fried rice, you gotta cook your rice. Fried rice is a leftover rice dish. It's not we want fried rice, let's cook rice now and then make fried rice. No, fried rice was invented over the course of just being like, what the hell are we gonna do with this?
I think the way that
cold
you
rice?
said it that way, because yeah, exactly. And that was one of the funny things that we were talking about the podcast was I had looked up a recipe and it was like 20-minute recipe. Not on Pinterest. But it was like, all right, so you I had some I don't know, boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I cooked that down a little bit and then took that out, and then all my vegetables in there, and then took that out. And then step 3 is add your rice that you boiled yesterday. I'm like, how the fuck is this a 20-minute recipe? Like, I'm still fucking mad about that, bro.
24 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, like, dude, I'm not cooking a fucking 24-hour pho. Like, this is fucking supposed to be this, dude.
Ooh, do you cook that?
I've cooked it before.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, Bubba did it one time. And I was so skeptical because I thought he was being extra about it because I really didn't know much about it.
Have to be extra for pho.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm not gonna literally dip this raw meat in my soup. Like, I'm not doing that. And he was like, no, Amber, shut the fuck up. Just do it. And one of the 0 times that I've trusted him about food before, Oh my god, that
Yeah,
is so
I had sliced up
good.
some beef so thin. Um, I think that was right around the time that I had just got a new knife, and it was supposed to be this Damascus steel thing, whatever, and they're full of shit.
Bought it off of Amazon.
Oh yeah, $20. No,
If
100%.
it
It's
came from
$20.
me, it was Amazon.
But right, I mean, any knife. That was the same thing I was texting you. I was like, man, I was like, I think I need a good knife because my knives don't get sharp. You were like, you can sharpen any knife. It's just how it works.
Yeah.
So got this new knife and I cut the beef so thin that after the soup I put raw beef on top of it and poured the broth on it and it cooked the beef in it, and she was fucking amazed at how heat cooks things.
Yeah.
That's like just like the people who cook like stuff with shrimp and they put the shrimp in and they cook it for like 3 more hours and
Oh,
the
come
shrimp
on.
turns into mush, like it's
Yeah.
nothing.
Boy, my shrimp
No,
smothered in onions.
you can boil water and add shrimp to it and turn the heat off, put
Yeah.
the lid on, and in 20 minutes it'll be cooked for you. You don't
Like,
need to do that.
my mom boils shrimp. I'm pretty sure she throws the shrimp in and turns the fire off and puts the lid.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I mean
positive.
it's almost when I do my shrimp smothered in onions. Um, I'll
Boy,
cook the
that's a
onion.
coon ass dish I've ever heard. One
Oh.
shrimp smothered in onions.
Onions.
That
Oh,
shit,
I've never had better.
that
I'm
shit
sorry,
is
Granny.
awesome.
I don't think I've ever known another person that just that's what they call it. Like, oh yeah, shrimp cup smothered in onions. Like it's a
Hey.
dish. Like it's just
It is.
Dude, that's Louisiana in a nutshell
yeah,
right
that's it.
there.
Yeah.
Anything smothered in onions.
And well, and it's perfect whenever like you ain't got a lot of money, you always got shrimp in your freezer over here. What you got? Onions and rice. I promise
Oh,
you
yeah.
have that in your house.
Well, that's what
Solid.
one of my favorite meals of all time. Well, two of them. I cooked them for the guys at work one time. A ragu patat,
Oh yeah.
ragu patat potato stew. So I cooked that one time. I brought it to them, and they're like, "Oh my god, dude, I need the recipe for this." And I'm like, "You see all the ingredients? Just put them all in."
Literally.
You know? I'm like, what? And I'm like, and then the next week I cooked sticky chicken.
Oh,
sticky chicken is
yeah.
so good.
Well, and she hates
I
it.
don't like the sticky chicken because there's fucking bones and cartilage and like the.
That
I know.
cartilage is so good though.
So you don't eat chicken wings, do you?
I do like just regular chicken wings where I'll
But in the
mix around
stew.
it, but like when I'm eating
Oh,
other
Turkey
with
chicken
the
is not
bones,
stew. There's a
Stew.
difference.
it,
Me and Logan were talking
Kind
about
of like a.
So when you cook sticky chicken, there's a gravy,
Mhm.
is what you're saying. See,
Like
I
the
grew up with sticky chicken. There's no gravy to it.
Yeah.
It's
It's
so
just
it's so crazy how the same dishes,
right.
over the rice. Yeah.
the same dishes, all in the same fucking area. I mean, you
Mhm.
grew up, what is that, 10 miles away from here,
Oh yeah.
if
Yeah.
that.
Oh dude, like Raceland is the sauce piquant capital of the world, apparently. Like I don't know where the hell that came from,
With some sauce piquant.
but Raceland is the sauce piquant capital of the world. That's fact.
Yeah.
That's true. But the funny thing enough is Raceland is the only place that'll put black olives in a sauce
I was
piquant.
literally gonna ask you that.
Yeah.
I rather green olives than black olives in a sauce piquant.
But you see, any olives, if you travel 10 miles outside of Raceland, like south or 10 miles north of Raceland, it's not a thing. You talk about putting olives in sauce piquant, and people look at you like you're crazy.
Don't they call it something different too? They call it like a ponchatoula or something. Your daddy had said that before.
I don't
No,
believe
What
that.
it is? A chop.
You saw what you just did?
No.
Your daddy said? You gotta.
no, that's a
He's
jambalaya. So my stepmom, what is it?
It's like a ponchatoula or something like that. They call it.
Ponchatoula.
Don't call her.
Call my daddy right now.
Because, and he was saying like the only difference really is that you don't put olives in it. But I think olives is what makes the difference with a sauce piquant. And I will die for a sauce
Yeah, I
piquant.
haven't eaten the best sauce piquant I've ever eaten. Like I went to school with. You remember Trey Billiard?
Oh yeah.
His mom cooked one for football. It was an alligator sauce piquant. It was the best sauce piquant I've ever eaten in my life.
Really?
And this was 12 years ago, and I still remember.
And it's
cooked
so
way
hard
better
to get alligator meat. I don't know. I have no
it's
idea.
not.
I have no. Well, with
expensive.
you and your friends.
And it's alligator. I got a funny story for y'all.
Oh God.
All right. So at Cinclare right now, we have the alligator andouille rangoons, right?
Hmm.
And it's been really tough to find alligator meat. Like we go through these periods of the
Don't need to.
year. Well, I know you can find them in your backyard, but you got the license. You let me know.
That's
You know,
the problem.
you skin them, you
Yeah.
clean them, I'll buy them. But for some reason or another, through these big companies that we deal with, it's tough to find alligator meat. It's funny enough, we can go, 3 miles to the bayou on either side of us and find an alligator, but you can't find alligator meat anywheres. I was talking to one of my guys that the seafood company that we deal with. Turns out Gucci Leather has ownership over a lot of alligator farms down here. And they don't want the alligators being raised to a certain age to where the leather is tougher than when they were young. So what they do is, because Gucci Leather has the ownership over some of these farms, they slaughter these gators at a young age, and you can't use the meat. It's too small, and they take all the leather from it.
Wow.
So
That's the craziest fucking thing I've heard.
Gucci Leather is directly, you know,
Ruining Southern Louisiana cooking.
ruining our ways for restaurants to get alligator meat.
Get out.
It's
I'm
crazy.
telling everybody that. I'm telling everybody. I'm calling
No,
mom.
but you know what's gonna happen though? She's gonna fucking tell everybody, but how it's gonna come out is be like fucking. The reason I can't cook a sauce piquant is because Logan owns Gucci.
There's something. Oh, is it a ragu patat that I said, the lima beans? What it is?
Chicken stew.
A chicken stew. Lima beans and a chicken
You
stew.
hear that every time you hit the table?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was getting
You
hyped.
put your hands on the table.
I told his daddy about it. Like, people in Raceland have never put lima beans in a chicken stew, and it's so normal down the bayou.
To me, that's two
Yeah.
different things. There's a chicken stew and there's chicken with lima beans. That's two different things to me.
And that's how I grew up.
What?
Too. There's lima beans cooked down, and you serve it with sticky chicken. That's how I grew up.
Yeah, as well.
That's
Yeah.
good.
But I've seen what you're talking about, where it's chicken and lima.
My mama always, yeah. And then there's a ragu patat with green beans.
I've had that before.
That's not a ragu patat. That's smothered down potatoes, sausage, and green beans. It's a ragu patat with fucking green beans. I told it to my dad. He was like, "What the fuck you talking about?" I'm like, "Well, fucking Papu, my grandpa cook it all the fucking time." He goes, "Sound like a Raceland fucking thing." Like, bro, you fucking born and raised in Raceland.
Hey, bro, there's some strange shit as far as cooking going on in race. Like, look, every Christmas, this is a Boudreaux thing in the old family household. When we get together for Christmas, my grandma Boudreaux would make a chicken and oyster gumbo. Have y'all ever had that?
My grandma,
So-
my dad's mom throws fucking oysters and everything. Spaghetti, like all kinds of shit. Like, it's crazy.
My
I
stepdad
would do that.
It's a
is
big
my
bite.
stepdad's from Church Point, and they cook in everything gumbo. So it's like seafood with everything that you put in seafood gumbo. You got crawfish, shrimp, crabs, oysters, and you got chicken and sausage all in one thing.
What would you put in a seafood
Making
gumbo?
shit really-
Somebody says, Logan, make me a
Oh.
seafood gumbo. Shut up, Christian.
Still mad about
What
it.
would you put?
I made a seafood gumbo not long ago. We're talking about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we were texting each other. It was last Sunday.
And for me, what I choose to have in my seafood gumbo is shrimp, okra, and crab.
Salt meat.
Oh, come on.
Salt meat and
Salt
oysters.
meat.
Down the bayou, they also put
There are
oysters in.
a lot of. I can agree with oysters as well,
okay.
but with andouille, salt meat, all that pork, beef product, that doesn't go in no seafood gumbo.
Hey,
It's
you go
literally
fucking
called
go past
a
the
seafood-
intracoastal and you fucking tell them that.
It's called a seafood gumbo. Why would you put meat?
No, we had so that's one of my grandma's old recipes is once a year, like you saying for Christmas,
The fucking oyster soup? I've never in my life heard of that.
oyster soup. That's the
Never.
one time a year we cook it for Christmas. And
It's good.
She
It's
got it.
okay. I don't know.
Do you
I don't
know-
know how I feel.
Go ahead. My
Oh.
bad.
she asked me to cook it one year. And I felt so privileged because there's only like 5 people that know this recipe, and only 2 of them are jambons. Well, 3 of them.
Okay, is it cream base or is it?
No,
No, it's not.
no cream base, no.
So it's got some red to it, like
Yeah.
there's tomato in it?
Bunch of So
Okay.
what you do is you cook down all the salt. You cook down salt meat first, take it out, and then add Well, I'm saying there's a recipe on fucking tape.
It
But
literally
you had,
comes out of nowhere.
Hold on, let me get my notebook out.
yeah.
I was just,
Which
I just
I
watched it.
added. She didn't catch me add, but I added. So you do your Trinity.
That's
You
why I
know,
didn't like it.
onions, bell pepper, celery, and I knew if there's a red sauce there, I'm adding carrots. So I added that.
What? You added carrots to a Cajun recipe?
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
it's kind of
with
Cajun
Trinity?
recipe. Yeah.
Oh,
I ain't scared of no ghost bush.
but
But you cook that on that, then you add your tomato paste and uh, baked or broiled tomatoes and put it on everything, and then add that all in together. Um, and then you add in one whole white bucket of oysters with all the
Oh yeah,
juice.
all the liquor. You don't throw that away.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Then you put that in there, and then you drink 4 more Miller Lights, and then you finish it. And uh, I'll never forget because my grandma, she can't move around much anymore, and she was on my ass all the time. She goes, "Let me see the pot." So she's sitting over here. I have to fucking walk over there with the pot, get her to look at it. I'm like, "Granny, I can cook. I know it smells burnt." I'm like, "It's full of liquid. How the fuck is it burnt?" What you
were you
do?
trying to say, Brody?
I don't remember. Oh, you ever ate turtle soup before?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Oh,
I've never
yeah.
eaten turtle.
It's so good. And nowhere around here really makes it, but it's so
My
good.
dad cooked it one time, and it's one of those stories that I don't know how true it is.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it at all. But my dad showed up to the house one day with a huge alligator snapping turtle in the back of his truck, alive.
How do you
Me.
even clean that? Like, how you get it out the shell?
Oh, it's a nasty process.
So,
I can
You
imagine.
don't want to see that.
oh god, yeah.
It's not suitable for work. Like, it's,
So-
it had that tag on it.
So he shows up, he got this turtle, and I'm like, where the fuck did you get? He drove back from Texas, and he was like, he told me that he was driving, and he saw 2 guys fighting on side the road. Yeah, there's no shot that this is true at all. And he said he pulled over and saw them, and he's like, "What are y'all fighting about?" And he goes, "This turtle." And he goes, I looked at him, and I grabbed the turtle, I put it in my truck, and I left.
That would only ever happen on the girl ball,
There's no chance. What?
the Homer shortcut.
The Grand Pot?
Dumbass.
Where you
But
get it?
he gets over there, so I look at him, and I go, "All right, we're gonna clean it." And I ain't never cleaned a turtle before. So he goes, "Yeah." So he grabs this rope, uh, and hangs it up like on a beam like that or whatever that's going across, and then grabs another rope and walks up to the turtle and puts it by its mouth, and the turtle fucking snapped on it.
Wait, it was alive?
Yeah, you're not cleaning a dead turtle.
You gotta kill it. I mean, he's about to kill it.
Well,
Yeah.
you kind of assumed
it
it was
drove-
fucking dead.
No,
You telling me that your daddy said 2 grown men were fist fighting on the side of the road over an alive snapping turtle that was just sitting there, and your daddy walked up and picked it up?
yes.
That's a myth that turtles are slow, by the way. Turtles keep shit.
Hey, them.
Like, they're fast. Like a golf course we play at in Homa, they have a lot of soft shell turtles, and those things.
Oh, them things are fast.
They fast.
I think I can outrun a soft.
There's
No.
not many animals you can outrun. Just letting you know.
So how did y'all kill it?
So
I
what we
do
did
wanna
was
know about
so.
it. I want to know. I want to know.
I can name the animals I can outrun. But we got him to bite another rope. It was like a knot, and when he bit it, we grabbed it and hooked it up to the other rope, and it hung its neck out completely. Because I mean, a turtle's neck is fucking massive. So did that, and my dad grabs a machete to go and just cut its head off, and swings and fucking right in the jaw.
Oh.
Hits it. So now this turtle, it lets go and shrinks its head back in.
Oh no.
Peter, if you fucking listen. So then we trying to fucking get this turtle's head out. He goes, Bub, grab it and pull it out. And it's just running through my head. It's like your dad fucking telling you to do something. But hold the fucking light or whatever. I'm like, all right. And I fucking walk. He goes, you fucking crazy? We put a towel in front of its mouth. It snapped onto that. Then held it up. Then cut its head off. And taking that fucking thing out the whole time.
Baby, there's one
Oh.
part of this story, I believe.
All that out was
Two
true.
parts.
All
That you and your dad were together and that y'all were next to a turtle. And that's all I believe out of that fucking. The turtle, it was this big.
No,
it was a turtle somebody let out in a pond because it started to stink in the house. And the mom
But
said,
anyway, the turtle soup was really good.
tastes like chicken, kind of like alligator tastes like chicken, kind of.
Beefy almost, huh?
It's got a like the bloody flavor of like beef or pork, and a lot of people when they make turtle soup they'll substitute like if they make like I know a lot of restaurants it's not the right way to go about it, but if restaurants will make like a lot of turtle soup, they'll use like 50% turtle and 50% veal, which is like young beef, and it'll sort of mimic the same sort of.
Is veal really that crazy?
No.
Is it really?
No, I have veal like once a week.
Oh, fuck you don't.
A veal cutlet. This place is called Come Back In. We call it Come Back Out.
You need to, because I always hear like veal like it's so like insanely high class. But like, can it really be that?
That comes from like the 70s and the 80s. Like for some reason or another, to have like a veal chop is like this bougie thing, you know. But honestly, there's not a whole lot of hype about it. It's tender beef. That's all it is.
I get you young calf right now.
Super tender beef.
I mean, yeah, like we know people. We've been wanting to buy Bubba's mom's best friend. They sell whole. She sold calves, a whole calf before. I
A lot
think
of people buy a half because a whole cow or a whole calf's a lot of.
My dad just got one. They processed it last week.
Well, and Jacob had talked about like we could get one and split it because like would last us fucking forever. I would have no idea what to do with that. That would have to be his whole thing. I don't know what cut of what.
No,
like, can you eat cow ribs?
Usually they
it's ribs.
When you get it from a place, they break it down for you. Like they tell you, like, oh, you're gonna get this many of this many of that. Like, do you want more roast? Do you want more steaks? Like that's what.
There was one time we bought a whole cow, and they dropped it off at the house, and the bitch was live.
Shut the fuck up.
That's a fake story. None of that happened at all. But we did go fucking last time we went hog hunting. Anytime that's still recording. Make sure that's recording audio. Audio?
I thought she was about to say it's not recording.
That'd have been fun. But we go hog hunting this last time, and anytime I leave North Raceland, I get sick. Just
Dude,
the fucking
get sick in North Raceland. You had COVID 6 times. I went to Austin, Texas, and Nashville twice in the past 2 years since COVID started. I've never had COVID.
Both times I went to Nashville and went to Austin.
Never had.
Both times I went to Nashville for yours and Zach's bachelor party, caught COVID. And then when I went to Austin, I caught COVID.
Bad genes.
Oh, dude, he's always sick.
Never wear jeans. Brody always says that. He goes, I've never met a motherfucker that gets sick like you.
Because she's sickly.
Alexa, play Fred Durst.
Well, I mean,
drink some orange juice.
Look, I imagine the amount of air that we get through our noses is a little bit different.
Blue Man says that shit all the time. Well, yeah, every time you take a fucking breath, it's all Raceland. But, what I was saying, fuck.
I'm pretty sure you were about to tell us that you had a half a cow dropped off at your house and it was still moving. It's still moving.
No, we go hog hunting, and I was sick, and well, I made a morning hunt, made an afternoon hunt, and I had shot 2 hogs, and that was my limit for the week. But it was my brother's bachelor party, so we just hanging out, and I'm fucking sinus infection. I'm like, naturally, I breathe in more air than normal people. Sick as fuck. I'm laying in bed. And then Amber was with me. She was sick as well. So we both just fucking laid up. My dad just barges in the fucking room. And he goes, hey, boy, put on your fucking camouflage. You got hogs everywhere. I'm like, fuck. Okay. I get out of bed, get dressed, walk outside. My dad goes, meet me by the skinning shed. So I look over, and he's over there, and he's got the gator, and he drops the tailgate, and I'm walking to the it was a high fence area it was at, but it was like 6 acres, and they get hogs and they put them in there, and you just shoot them. I'm walking to there, and my dad goes, hey, bub, drops the tailgate down, throws out this monster fucking hog. Boom, drops. It's about like 300 pounds, maybe around 150. Hog hits the ground, and I'm like, okay, damn, big bitch. And he goes, hey, watch this. He grabs, this thing is about this fucking big.
Size of Bella.
Grabs it, falls, yeah. And this is it. He goes, huh.
Your dad is gonna get attacked by PETA. Like legit, like this ever gets like really, really, really big, this is how you're gonna get canceled.
I'm fine with that.
Out of that whole story you just said, though, the thing that really intrigued me is you said skinning shed.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Like, are there
Yeah.
entire sheds dedicated
So like
just skinning animals?
when you get there, they have like an overhead almost crane, but it's just a fucking pulley. So you go, you grab the legs, you hook it on there, and it pulls it up, and they got the cement. It all caves down to a drain.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's a literal skinning shed.
A whole shed.
But whenever you fucking I get it. Whenever you say no, Jeffrey Dahmer.
It sounds a little psychopathic.
Yeah, we're going November, going to Bill Busby's place. Who
not supposed to know this person.
No, not at all. But he owns all the Buck Commander stuff. He's the one that so like all the camouflage that you see at Walmart or Target or whatever.
Yeah.
He's the one that owns it. So like Aaron Lewis, Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, all these country boys, they go hunting over there. And my dad knew enough people working the oil field that we're allowed to go hunt over there, but we don't hunt in the pen that they hunt. So it's funny. There's a video of Luke Bryan you can watch. I know you have no idea who the fuck Luke Bryan.
No, I know
you
Luke
do?
Bryan.
Okay.
Yeah. I just the name Aaron Lewis, putting him into like the country boys, just kind of made me chuckle a little bit.
Hey, Stain's putting out a fucking album, and I can't wait.
That was a shock to me. So like I didn't know that Aaron Lewis that was a country singer was the same guy from Stain and Bub at the time. Then I was like, there's no shot. That had to be two different people. I was like, hey man, you heard Aaron Lewis?
Shovel.
Me with Corey Taylor.
Yeah,
Corey Taylor, Slipknot.
No fucking idea that he put out a country record.
It's been a while.
He did. I'm joking.
That's the best.
That's
the best concert I've ever been to in my life.
Stain?
No, Slipknot.
That was the coolest thing ever.
Jonathan Almo watched Slipknot in Austin, Texas the other fucking night.
That's where we're seeing
I'd like to go. I've been on this kick. I don't know how I ended up on it.
5'5", and I'm 6'6".
Hey, that's awesome.
But I was on this. I don't know. It ended up on my For You page on TikTok. And it was Slipknot from the 90s, their concerts. So I went to Slipknot's official TikTok page, and I felt so bad. Like,
those are some words said in 2022. I went to Slipknot's official TikTok page. Oh my god.
Man, they've really gone downhill, haven't they?
Since Ohio came out, this shit is not the same.
I would be a real hypocrite if I said anything about TikTok because I watch it all the time.
Would you like to be a heretic?
But my heart really broke for them because they were posting like back from the 90s their concerts, and what it is, the guy Sid, that he was out, and it's the song I don't know Slipknot well, but it's a song. It's like everybody gets down, and then he says, "Get the fuck up," and everybody starts going.
Yeah.
And then a recent concert of theirs, they're poor souls. How do you go from this bad shit, constant chaos to everybody's just
That's not how it was when we went to see it. That must have been a shitty concert.
It was, oh, dude, I just can't imagine.
Some festival.
It was
where it's just-
Probably. Where it's legit, they go in for the pictures.
When we went there, it was awesome. It was Behemoth, Gajora, Volbeat, and Slipknot.
Yeah, the people are there for one fucking reason.
When y'all went, so Gojira played.
That was 2000. It was the year LSU won the national championships, 2019.
So they didn't have their last album out.
No. It didn't come out. Yet.
Amazonian. Dude, oh, to watch that shit.
That made me because I was never a Volbeat fan because Tibbs a big Volbeat guy and never I
He
appreciated
he
them.
listens to those fucking bands.
He
Mastodon.
Was so, he,
Oh, dude, Mastodon's the shit.
Dude, he what's the TV series? You're telling me you take these tiny red crustaceans and boil them in boiling hot water. That's so
most,
metal.
That's the most metal thing I've ever heard.
Metalocalypse.
That's the most metal thing I've ever heard.
Metalocalypse.
Oh man, that makes me want to go and find Adult Swim on my streaming service.
Alex,
That the other day, the little milkshake.
That was on
Aqua Team.
So Alex was talking about it the other day. I forgot how long ago it was, but they did Team Aqualine Hunger Force movie, and it was March 31st at midnight. They were releasing the movie on Adult Swim. And everybody was so excited. They were fucking pumped up, watch this movie. And the movie starts and it's on there, everything's happening, whatever. And then the screen got tiny and went to the corner of the room. Oh, on the screen. And they just played The Room. The movie The Room. And they just played that the whole time.
Shut up.
As a troll.
That's terrible.
They played the whole movie.
That's the best Adult Swim.
And I was like, I wish I would have seen it because, like, could you imagine ready to watch this movie and then you just watch The Room that happens? And he was talking about because you seen it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The most awkward, weirdest sex scene that you have ever seen in your life. It was the whole screen was a black bar.
Oh.
It was just moving back in the whole screen, and you said like you can see like just like the ceiling tiles and the lamp or whatever.
Adult Swim was the OG trolls before things actually. A fun fact about Aqua Team Hunger Force: in one of their episodes, did you know that there was a drummer that came on for one of the scenes that was speaking, and it's Neil Peart from Rush. Like it was actually Neil Peart from Rush playing drums and speaking in that scene of Aqua Team Hunger Force.
The greatest drummer that's ever fucking lived, and they just used it as a fucking troll. Jesus. Oh man. I remember I was telling that to Alex after he said that. The chicken, not adult chicken. Robot chicken.
Yeah.
Adult chicken.
Adult chicken. Not to be confused with a veal cutlet.
Child chicken.
Child chicken. But whenever we'd watch Adult Swim and fucking Robot Chicken would come on, I was like, I remember we didn't have phones at the time, but we would all watch it every night. And the next day we get there and we'd talk about it at school. And it's we started talking about TV shows, how it's not the same, especially like growing up young. Like, imagine if Ren and Stimpy came on today, And he was like, that does exist, like Flapjack and Adventure Time.
Yeah. I mean, you say that, but like SpongeBob's got some, like, they didn't pull it as much as Stimpy did, but this got some underlying.
Mm-hmm. No, Ren and Stimpy didn't give a fuck. Like, they were just like, there's a Ren and Stimpy episode that aired when I was a kid, and I'll never forget. Then they showed full breasts of cartoons, and I couldn't wait for it to show every single time. At my grandma's house down Danon Street, when that shit would play, I go watch in the other room by myself.
Christian.
It's funny. One of my cooks in the restaurant was telling me this weird fun. I have a cook at the restaurant. Her name's Carly, and she's our Google. Like we call her Google because she has the most interesting random information that like in the world. And this was the time of whatever studios it was that was producing Shrek. All right, they were filming Shrek, and
Oh.
they had all their writers on it. And there was another really cool movie that they were working on, really edgy. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't Shrek, put it that way, all right? And Universal Studios or whoever it was that was working on it, the people that were in charge of the studio itself would threaten their writers, where it's like, all right, if you're not doing a good enough job, or if you keep acting up the way you are, we're gonna put you on Shrek.
Oh,
Like that was a threat, in the studio back in the day. It's just like, all right, keep acting the way you are. You're gonna get taken off of the cool movies, the action movies. You're gonna get put on Shrek, all right?
And then guess what?
Do the roar.
Do the roar. Somebody once told me, God, could you imagine being those guys and they're like,
Oh,
hey, we want to use this song for this movie. And like, okay, what is it about? It's about this ogre and a donkey and
why you said it like that?
donkey. And they just they go rescue this princess from this castle and they're like, all right, look, dude, I mean, I guess.
yeah, about that.
Are you paying me? Or like, yeah, we're paying you. All right, that's cool.
Yeah, and then now I can sing every single fucking word to that song.
It's crazy stuff like that. Like I don't know if any of y'all watch like the Stranger Things stuff, but that song, was it long? What's the lady's name? The Running Up That Hill song.
Oh,
Yeah.
It became
Kate
like it was like on
Kate
top.
Bishop.
It was on the top of the Spotify's thing, and she made like all this money all because it was one song on this show that everybody's watching. Like, and it came out like in the 80s. Like,
So everybody was fucking freaking out about the Metallica thing as well.
yeah,
I never watched Stranger Things, but the Metallica scene
which was
where they're
awesome.
playing Master of Puppets,
Yeah,
they're doing that, and then Metallica's streams went through the fucking roof, and everybody was like, yeah,
They were screaming fake Metallica fans so bad.
Well, they were-
Metallica put out a statement and was like, "We love anybody that listens to our music."
no, they were like, people were saying, thank God Stranger Things came out. Metallica got all these listens. Like they're not still one of the biggest bands on the face of the fucking
Ozzy and
planet.
Post Malone.
Oh, well, was it who was it?
Yeah.
Paul
Paul
McCartney and
McCartney,
Kanye. It was all Kanye West and Paul McCartney did a song
hate
together.
Kanye, so
I love
I don't care.
you.
dude, the
The
80s.
graduation? Are you kidding me? Some of the best albums ever.
I
fucking
miss the
put out.
old Kanye.
How he says that.
Oh,
Pete
no.
Davidson says that. Make Kanye 2007 again.
Dude, the 80s are coming back.
I'm here for it.
And
Well-
and this the generation like the kitchen crew that I have is none of them were born before 2000. So it's very much coming back, and they have no idea who they're listening to. Metallica and Kate Bishop and all these people, like they have no idea. They think these are songs that are just like just found,
I'm still waiting.
people just discovered this one Metallica song.
Songs from the Big Chair. The album. Why can't I think of the
I don't-
fucking name of the band? It's like the best album that ever came out ever, almost besides Joshua Tree. Songs from the Big Chair. You got Shout.
Tears for
Tears for
Tears
Fears.
for Fears.
Oh,
Jesus, yeah.
it's just.
I'm
tight.
waiting on that's gonna fucking pop up one day,
Oh,
and
yeah.
people are gonna go, man, this is a really good band. No, that's the best album that's ever been put out ever. That's
And
like that's right there with Fleetwood Mac,
Oh, yeah.
Rumors. It's right,
So
there,
me when I discovered Fleetwood Mac Rumors, I
God.
made it.
right when we
It
fucking
was my
first started dating.
personality.
Tears for Fears is the shit, and we're talking about more than just music nowadays, like
I'm
fashion.
about to say fashion.
Yes.
Yeah,
Dressing.
the dangly
Well, the
one
90s
earring, like that's fucking
Mhm.
that's popular amongst
That's
like
genius.
20 years old.
Well, in the 90s things is fucking it's what's happening now. Like you're saying, they're moving to the fucking 80s. It's like,
Yeah.
what is?
Dude, it's all cyclical. It's all like it fashion and music and it's all cyclical. Like if it's not popular now, it will be in 30 years. That's just
Well, fuck. My next album, I need to add those big synth hits on the fucking. Fuck. All right, take a little break.